Good morning. Today we're going to be taking a look at XRP, a little bit of Bitcoin, the Sigma coin, and some liquidity. So, all right, so today's video, we're going to be comparing and contrasting here the XRP price action on the left versus the XRP price action on the right, which is the Korean version of the XRP. So what we have is on the and these discrepancies that we're about to point out here have been continual that I've noticed between the two charts, primarily due to leverage on USD and no leverage on the Korean side, giving you a much more accurate view of what XRP is doing in Korea than you would get here in the States. So looking then off the lows here, we have a 5-wave move off the lows, which in the USD version, we end up setting a lower low that ends up coming into play. Whereas in the Korean version, we have a very nice clear 5 waves, okay? In both versions then, we have a 5-wave move to the downside that ends up being our A leg with a choppy A, B, and then we're going to end up doing a C leg into this B overall view, because within your B, you have a corrective move. So expecting that we should see one more squeeze higher to this 289 level, and that 289 level should ultimately give us the higher high completion here on both charts as we move up into this region. Then another cascading liquidation down, and I would imagine here on the USD chart we will probably come back down to 279 and change, which will be a spectacular opportunity to long for the price action. So we're just kind of waiting for this chop to kind of get out of the way. It may have already put in its high. It may roll over from here, so we'll just have to keep watching. But at this point, this is the main takeaway, is that this 5th wave on the USD version is shorter than wave 3. And on the Korean version, we actually have the true count, which is our wave 5 being higher than the A, B, and C. So now jumping over to what this structure has looked like in the past, here it is in XRP yet again. And you can see we have a 5-wave move to the upside, and a 5-wave move then down, an A, B, C back up again, and then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves to a higher low, which then set the next higher low, which then created our explosive move to the upside back in 24. So this setup here, this flat, is exactly what we did for our wave 2 back in the day, and now we're just doing it again here on the shorter time frames on both Korean and US versions of XRP. So now the next thing to do is, what is we going to see at the same time going on in the market here? Well, we've got Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin has completed a 5-wave move off the lows, okay, and is now going in for an ABC version. So I'm estimating that we'll get back up to about 114 and change for Bitcoin. And then an equal measured move of this leg A, B, assuming we hit this 114 level, would actually pull us down to 108, which was our initial all-time high back test from way back in the day. And it would end up setting a higher low overall, but we do have a range where we could see 108, and we could continue to do cascading liquidations down to 102, maybe even 101. So anything in this area would be expected. But the 5 waves is in, so this would be a corrective move to the upside, and then one more liquidation down. Question is, will we stop out at prior highs, initial highs, or where are we going to land? But this is kind of the big pocket area of where we could see Bitcoin fall down to with all of that stuff. So anything in here is still good. And this breakdown on Bitcoin would coincide with the flat structure that we're going to see here on XRP moving up, and then a big smackdown. So liquidity, this is where we would expect to see this. So we have liquidity up to 289 for leverage traders. For shorts, they'll come up, sweep into these guys. So I have my stop and my sell order in to sell at 289. And then we can come back down, grab these guys with the smackdown, go to 278. And then from there, we're free to go. And that should be ultimately, when we look back in time, a really great area for us to push out of here and be done. So yes, that's kind of what I'm seeing here on the price action. Right now, Dex Screener is down. So we have this version of Sigma, and we can see that Sigma is holding up pretty well. So we had this big cascading move to the downside, a massive liquidation that showed up to the party. Volume was pretty big. Well, yeah, it shows 2.92 million Sigmas, so I don't know what that is in conversions of XRPs, but we immediately had buy volume come right back up again, grab it, and accumulate. So we're just seeing any type of sells are being accumulated and bought right off the lows here. This is what you want to see. And now we're just continually working our way out of here as the price action is, oops, let's not do that one. Price action is just kind of chopping sideways, getting ready for the correction on XRP Bitcoin. And then I think we're good to go. We can get out of here. So, but yeah, this nice, I really want to see this high swept and cleared, and even that one right there. So a nice move above all of these would be a huge confirmation that we've cleared now 2 additional prior highs, and we've set a new higher high with trend. And we've got quite a mountain to go, but it's definitely working its way out of here, which is what we want to see. So hopefully that was helpful for today. And to recap, we just have a difference in discrepancy between Korea and in the US version. So I've been defaulting more to the Korean one for our overall wave count, but anticipating stretching or shortening because of the discrepancies of leverage. Then you've got an example of how this played out in the past, where you have one sweep to the upside, one sweep to the downside, and away we go. And then finally, Bitcoin is getting near the completion of its 5-wave move to the downside and ABC back up. And then we roll over with a large area of where we can accumulate Bitcoin. And I would be curious, I'm thinking this is the one. I'm thinking 108. I'm going to guess that that's probably where it is. But liquidations could take us down to 102, even lower technically down here into the 90s. Definitely freak everybody out. But for whatever reason, the fact that this lined up with the initial all-time high of Bitcoin for a back test is pretty cool. So I'm going to go with that one just for fun. And lastly, the liquidations, sweep up, sweep down, and we're out of here. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful, and we will check in tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching,